Hello everyone, welcome back to the LPL 22 summer breakdown for DraftKings June 10th. That was a lot of intro for some reason. But just a small two-gamer to get our feet wet here a little bit with the new split. Not a great slate by any means, but it is the first slate back, and I do actually kind of have maybe an interesting opinion on one of these games at least. So we'll go ahead and just get it started. So the lineups are out. Nothing too really interesting has changed from spring to summer. For Invictus Gaming, it is still Zika, Shun, Yuakai, Wink, and Shin Lui. But I think that is just Lucas, who had name swapped. So it is pretty much the same Invictus Gaming roster. Weibo is still the same on that side as well, with the Shy, SOFM, Angel, Huanfang, and On. And then in the other matchup of FPX EDG, it is the same rosters here as well. It is Shallow, Clid, Care, LWX, and Hung against Flandre, JJ, Scout, Viper, and Mako. So pretty interesting. As I showed the odds here a little bit ago, we do have two -500 favorites here. So not too ideal in terms of getting a two-gamer here. Typically, I just would recommend not to play these two gamers unless you have, like, I think a unique approach or something like that. And I actually do probably kind of have a little bit of a hot take here. So we'll go ahead and get it started with the first super hot take of the season, and it is the first match here of Weibo Invictus Gaming. I actually think this match is a good bit closer than the odds are kind of indicating. I have recorded and I have not uploaded it yet. I still need to edit out a part, or edit together, because I had to record it in two parts because my voice was so gone. So I need to figure out how to combine those two footages and get it uploaded. But either way, I think the point was, I think IG is actually primed to be a relatively decent team. I think they're actually going to be somewhat okay. I'm not saying they're going to be like top 8 maybe and make the playoffs, but I think they might be like fighting for a playoff spot. Like, they're going to be in that realm. And I think Weibo's going to be like a slight bit above them, but nothing too crazy. So I think, relatively speaking, if I think Weibo's like the 6th or 7th best team in the league, and I think, or maybe like 7, 8, and I think IG's like 9, 10. Like, I don't think these teams are that far apart. And speaking as as a whole, looking at the league as a whole and looking in that realm, I actually think these teams are relatively close. So this is gonna be my first long underdog play of the week, or of the split, and probably going to be pretty unpopular. I'd imagine it's going to be pretty chalky with people just playing Weibo and EDG in some sort. Although people will play the underdogs, of course. There's only so many options. There's literally 4 teams. But that's the way I'm headed. I'm going to start it off with, keep this one pretty brief. I actually like IG and I like EDG as well. I think EDG is, again, still a top 5 team. I think FPX is a bottom 5 team. I think the gap between these two teams is much, much more apparent. Compared to IG Weibo. I just think with the young players that IG have, I could definitely see them improving a lot more. And we know Weibo's had ups and downs. I just think it's definitely more of a possibility that we see IG get the upset over Weibo. I do, again, obviously think Weibo is the better team. They should win this more often than not. But I'm open to the possibility of IG getting this one done. And then I think the chasm between EDG and FPX is much larger. I would be pretty surprised to see EDG beat or lose to FPX here. So I'm going EDG pretty heavily, mixing them up with IG. I'm going to go relatively small just to get my toes wet, so to speak, in this split. I don't love it too much. Again, I'm probably just going to throw a little bit of something on tonight. Take it easy. I don't want to go too crazy. We got upcoming 3 gamers relatively soon, I believe. So we can go ahead and, get a little bit more interesting when we talk about those. We do only have 2 gamers for the first 3 days here. So, these look pretty interesting. These slates I think are going to be a lot more interesting. But, early on in the split, you got to take your stands where you believe they are. And I believe the gap between IG and Weibo is not that extreme, so I'm going to take my shots here with IG. Lock and load some of the first underdogs of the split. I actually didn't bring up any stats here, but we probably could look at the spring stats to compare and look at the players a little bit, because it is mostly the same rosters. So if we look at Fun Plus Phoenix, Edward Gaming, Invictus Gaming, and of course Weibo, overall, I expect these to be relatively close. I would maybe slightly lean towards the EDG 2-0 just because it's most likely to get a sweep. I could definitely see IG Weibo being like a 2-1 one way. So I'm definitely going to have a majority EDG with a little bit of IG, but that's how I'm going to view it. I don't think there's a big gap in between like what two of these teams or you know, the preference of what match you would want to like go heavier on. When it comes to the LPL players, I don't want to see the playoffs. LPL 22 spring. We'll look at the players. Edward Gaming, and we're going to go ahead and just look at IG. Probably try to put minimum games played at like... go with 8, because that's where... no, we don't need to see Neni or Xiao Yu AG, Xiao Hyung. I'm going to put this up to like 13 probably. That'll give us Wink, Shinlush. Yeah, so this gives us the roster that they're actually playing with, so that's a lot easier to look. Again, 80 carries, mid lanes, some help there from the top laners, junglers. I'd definitely probably just going double AD. There's no reason not to, really. I do think stacking EDG, Scout, Viper, JJ, probably Mako, although top laners is going to be pretty interesting. It's kind of a coin flip between whether you want to go Zika or Flandre. I probably would end up going Zika because, again, I'm a pretty big proponent of, I guess, like the anti... anti the shy thing. Like I just think the shy is generally overrated. We could definitely see if Invictus Gaming do actually end up performing well, I could definitely see the shy being a problematic reason of why Weibo lose. So that's, you know, part of the rationale of why I would probably lean towards Zika in the top lane over somebody like Flandre. And, you know, I did think there's, again, a possibility that we do see EDG kind of blow out FPX. So in that realm, you could definitely see Flandre having a pretty bad performance. So I'm leaning Zika in the top lane, but everywhere else, I would prefer the EDG members. I would go Scout. I like Scout a lot, Viper, JJ, Mako. And then, you know, it depends on how different you want to get for your captain. I would expect people, when they are going to play IG and EDG together, it's probably going to be a pretty popular build to go with double carries, so Viper and Wink, or you can go Scout and Uakai. I like going down to double mids, but I don't know if I want to do that quite yet. That seems a little risky. Again, I do kind of like proposing going down to double jungles on a 2-gamer like this. You know, it just makes your lineups a lot different, and I do think this is a pretty good opportunity to get. So try to get, you know, rather than splitting the first place prize so many ways, try to reduce the amount of ways you could split the prize. Maybe you even can get unique if you do go down to double jungle and go with like JJ and Shun, for example. So that's possibilities, possibilities there for you to, I think, get creative. So that'll be my approach today. Not going to go too crazy with this one. Again, keep your entries pretty light here. If you are going to follow me and go with like IG and EDG, two pretty risky build. I think obviously IG is a really large underdog, plus 320. So odds are not going to be looking too great for us, but again, I just think these teams are a little bit closer than the odds say. I'm a little surprised by how these odds are shaken out. So I'm going to go with IG. That's a team I'm probably going to be buying into pretty decently early on here. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to play a little bit of IG, a little bit of EDG, and we'll move on to tomorrow. So yeah, keep it light, keep it, have a little bit of fun with it, and we'll be back tomorrow. Again, a little 2-gamer tomorrow. We do have 2 gamers for these first 3 days, these opening days here. I guess it's actually the whole first week. Yeah, the whole first week is only 2 gamers. Wait, this split is only 2 gamers except for Saturdays? Oh no, I did not realize that. Oh, that is not good. I did not realize only Saturdays are 3 gamers. Oh, that's pretty disappointing. It won't be as bad when we get the LCK mixed in here as well, but 2 gamers is pretty boring. Oh well. But we'll be back tomorrow for the match ALRA, JDGTES. Those are going to be pretty interesting games. We're going to have some takes there as well. So that'll be it for me today. Best luck to you guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next set of matches.